Hello all. Hello students. This is Professor V.N. Zokare from Sinhagad Institute, Solapur, and I am here to present a very important topic today for all of you, for all the engineering, and even if they are from science background, that is non-engineering like BCA, MCA, MSc or BSc, who are pursuing their MSc, BSc, BCS, BCA, MCA. Those who are pursuing mainly in IT, their IT skills. So I'm here to present before you a presentation on skills of the future. That is the 10 skills you will need in 2020. Dear students, I am Professor V.N. Zokare from the Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. I am working with NB Navle, Sinhagad College of Engineering, Solapur, which is NAC A accredited college with a CGPA of 3.12 out of 4. So basically, most of the students and even the parents are right now in a very much dilemma, in a phase where we are not able to understand what will happen after lockdown, what will be the opportunities coming up after lockdown. So basically, will there be any companies coming up for the campus drives, on campus, off campus, or any company which may be conducting their national qualifier tests or not? The answer is yes. And basically, within 1.5 to 2 months after this phase, that is at the end of August or the beginning of September, many things will be clear, and the companies will start coming up with their agenda of basically starting the on-campus, off-campus drives and also the national qualifier tests. The companies will start conducting these tests during these months, and basically I am here to explain you what is our objective. The objective is to prepare for campus placements and be prepared for the future, the upcoming future. So whatever placements and drives the companies are conducting, and these will be conducted after the lockdown is over. And especially when we speak of the Indian companies, the MNCs, the IT companies in India, and mostly the companies that appear on the campus for mass recruitment. A few company names come to our mind, and these are Accenture, Cognizant, Infosys, TCS, that is Tata Consultancy Services, and Wipro. So mainly, it's not that we are limited to these companies. We will be talking in general, and we will be speaking regarding the skills of the future and regarding what skills we require and how to prepare for those skills. So let us start. This is my brief introduction. So I am Professor Vinay Zokare. I am a passionate teacher and I love creative thinking, and I am a soft skill trainer. So basically I teach students soft skills at college level, and I am an enthusiast in artificial intelligence and machine learning. I have also done some courses in Python, R, and data science, and I have got a NPTEL silver certificate from IIT Madras with a score of 83%. And my skills include microcontrollers, processors, control systems, electromagnetic engineering, and many more. I have certifications in numerical reasoning, PHP, Python, Python for data science, and basic Python programming. So recently I have done these certifications from various websites. I have an experience of around 18 years with 6 years of industry experience working with Bosch Group and Infosys Technologies, Bangalore. So basically, I would like to start with the presentation now. Skills of the future. The 10 skills you will need to thrive in 2020. So basically, let us begin. Dear students, we need to be aware of these skills and we need to prepare. In either of these skills, we need to be either at the intermediate level or expert. Even as a fresher, if you are a beginner and you know the basic concepts of these topics, then you stand to get placed in any company. Just take care that your concepts are clear regarding these topics. So basically the skills that you require are, the first one is AI. As you can see on the screen, the artificial intelligence. So the capabilities of human workforce, it is augmenting the capabilities of human workforce. So there is misunderstanding that artificial intelligence will take over human beings. It is not made for taking over human beings, but it is made for augmenting the capabilities of human workforce, that is to help the human in the tasks where the human being can effectively use their skills. So basically, under artificial intelligence, we have machine learning and the natural language processing. So these are the things that we have to learn under artificial intelligence. Even deep learning comes under artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is a subset, machine learning and deep learning are the subsets. So basically you can learn these skills from Future Skills NASSCOM. So NASSCOM has come up with Future Skills where they are offering this course for free. So if you Google Future Skills NASSCOM, you will be getting the course free, artificial intelligence. Even you can do the course on Coursera with audit only, NPTEL and Udemy. So basically AI will help you to get equipped with the skills that the future MNCs will need. So the MNCs may need these skills in the future. Now next is IoT, which is Internet of Things. Now this specialization covers the development of IoT, that is the development of products and services, that is including the devices for sensing, for actuation, processing and communication. Now to help you develop skills and experience, you can learn this course from Coursera, Allison.com, Udemy and NPTEL. So Internet of Things, for this you can also buy some kits from various websites like Amazon and work on these kits like ESP8266, which is a Wi-Fi module, and you can also purchase a Node MCU and start working on Internet of Things by deploying some sensors and just communicating with the sensors and actuators. You can do small projects at the small level with IoT. And the next thing that is coming up in the industry is IIoT, that is Industrial Internet of Things, which comes under the broad category of Industry 4.0, in which the machines are interconnected with each other via various communication protocols, and the machines will be communicating with each other. So basically, you will require the skills to get equipped for the manufacturing industry as well as for the Wi-Fi devices, which is Internet of Things, which is all pervasive now. Every device on the earth will be connected. So there will be billions of devices that will be connected on the earth. And these skills are very, very important for the future. Next is cloud computing. A vast number of companies today are built and run on the cloud. So we know that there are many companies which are running on cloud, and they need the talent to have the skills to help them drive technical architecture, the design and delivery of cloud systems. Like you may have Microsoft Azure, AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, or Google Cloud. You can learn this course from Coursera and EDX. This is also very, very important skill, and it is in high demand for many MNCs. Cloud computing. The next is data analytics, a very hot topic now in the market, and many people are looking for the candidates who have these skills. So today data is foundation of every single business. So any business cannot live without data now. Organizations want the talent who can make sense of it, and they can uncover insights. Means the data can be visualized also, which can drive the best decisions for the business. So actually, we need data for making decisions, but only data cannot make the decisions. We need to process and analyze the data properly for making better decisions. So for this, we need data analytics. And the people with data analytics skills are in high demand in the MNCs. You can learn these courses from Coursera and EDX, and also from LinkedIn Learning. Next is data science. Now, basically, data science is all about how you are going to process the data. So you have to learn Python and some basics of SQL, which is the database management system concepts. So what data science and machine learning are, you will come to know after learning this data science in broad sense, and how Python fits into the picture. So how the libraries of Python help us to process the data, or to analyze the data, or to visualize the data. So that is all that comes under data science. So data analysis, data processing, and data visualization are the main things of data science. Now machine learning. Next is machine learning. Machine learning is one of the most innovative and exciting fields moving into the future. It mainly concerns with the algorithms that we develop, the statistical algorithms like linear regression, k nearest neighbors, or some clustering algorithms. So you can have some algorithms which makes the non-living things learn. So basically like Siri and Alexa, the chatbots. And you can also have predictive analysis for the agriculture, for the environment, for the climate. You can also have machine learning. You can also deploy machine learning for self-driving cars. And there are tons of applications and uses for this technology. So machine learning is in high demand now. And basically machine learning is required, is a part of data science. And machine learning is, I believe it's 30 to 40% of data science. And most of the part of machine learning is where you need to categorize the data, categorize, cluster, differentiate. So machine learning will come into picture only when you have to extract particular features out of the data. That is where machine learning will play a very important role. And you can learn this from Coursera, Allison.com, Udemy, NPTEL, and LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is very, very good. Coursera is also great because it is offering some free courses. Allison.com is one more good site. Udemy is also offering a few free courses. And NPTEL is offering the courses where you have mentors from IITs, from companies, and from foreign universities also. So you can enjoy learning on any of these platforms, and you can get skilled. Now the next skill is mobile development. Now you see there are many people who are using smartphones. There are many smartphone users in the world. and that number is increasing day by day, and it will grow like anything every year. It's like an exponential growth. Now the companies who want to stay relevant, they don't just need websites, understand it very properly, they also need apps. Now having mobile development skills also comes with a perk that if you can build your apps for others, then you can also build and sell your own apps as well. So it's an ideal career path for aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start their own company, own IT company, which can build apps and sell the apps. You can learn Kotlin, which is the Android operating system, or any other like iOS. You can learn Swift. So you can learn many skills for mobile development, how to develop apps, and you can learn this from Udacity and developer.android.com. So you can learn how to deploy these platforms on various operating systems, or how to deploy these apps on various operating systems by going through these websites, and you need basic skills for this. As a fresher, the company doesn't expect you to be having an in-depth, very much an in-depth knowledge. If you have an in-depth knowledge, it's well and good. What I suggest is you choose one of the topics among these which interests you a lot and work on that topic, and mention that topic as a part of your resume. In your resume, under the skill sets, you can actually put this skill. When you complete this course from any one of these websites, a module from the website, you can put this as a skill set in your resume. Okay, next comes up robotics. Now, robotics is all pervasive again. So you can specialize in both hardware as well as software. And you know that the PLC, CNC machines are still made advanced now by many German companies. And you know that Germany is very technologically advanced as far as automotive industry is concerned. And you can find a lot of these things, robotics industry 4, growing up there in those countries like Japan, Germany, or even you can see something going on in America also, USA. So automation, robotics, you can learn many things. You can learn to explore the bots, the drones, or you can develop automated manufacturing equipment. So automated manufacturing equipment is one more thing where you can get into robotics. You can learn robotics from Coursera, EDX, NPTEL. The next is data visualization, which is very, very important. Once you learn data analytics or data science, how to process the data, how to analyze the data, the last step is how to visualize it. And this is going to help the people understand the significance of data by placing it in a visual context. Understand this very well, that you can actually present the data in the form of charts, graphs, and you can also present the data in data sheets, or you can call them as spreadsheets. You can learn data visualization from MIT Open Courseware, Skillshare, Coursera, EDX, etc. Then comes up network and information security, that is cyber security. Last but not the least, I would like to say this is very, very important, that nowadays companies are having a lot of data and there is sensitive data. And with this sensitive data, the companies are like under threat of attack from outside. So keeping their network secure is very, very important for the companies. And unfortunately, in these companies, there is a shortage of people trained in network security or cyber security. And fortunately, for people like us, it means that there is a gap in the market that we can fill up. So we can do many courses from Cybrary. Cybrary offers free course in cyber security. So you can do a free course from Cybrary, Cybrary and EDX for cyber security. And believe me, this is a very hot cake now. Cyber security is going to boom like anything in the future. And it will be the very necessary thing for all the companies who are working on data and anything that is physically developed. So basically, this will be a great asset for anybody who wants to develop their skills in encryption algorithms or decryption algorithms. You can learn those things and you can acquire many skills in cyber security. So this is all about the skills that you require, and you can just choose any one of these. I'll just revise: artificial intelligence, IoT, that is Internet of Things, cloud computing, data analytics, data science, machine learning, mobile development, robotics, data visualization, and network and information security, that is cyber security. And then there are many things like blockchain and all, which I will not cover here, but basically they are also much required skills now, blockchain. And then there is quantum computing coming up. So you can acquire skills in the latest technologies and then get equipped with the skills and write those skills in your resume, mention those skills under the skill sets, and then you can appear for the company interview. Now, the very important thing that I want to cover at the end is TCS Code Vita 2020. As I said, that many companies will come up with their announcements. TCS has already come up with the announcement with a competition, TCS Code Vita, which is going to start, already started from 17th March. So you can see the registration date here. So you can see the registration date here. I will highlight the registration date. So this is the registration date, 17th March 2020. And last date is 5th July 2020. Now, under this TCS Code Vita, what we are going to have is, we are going to have a competition where the people will win the great prize, that is a coveted prize, that is a world's best coder title from TCS Code Vita season 9. So this is the season 9 of Code Vita, and all the passionate coders that they are present globally. So all the passionate coders across all the countries will be called for this competition. This is a great competition. So what is the eligibility criteria? Let us focus on that. Coders from institutes across India who are completing their academic course in 2021, that is 2021, 22, 23, and 24 alone are eligible for this contest. So understand that the people who will be completing their academic course in 2021, 22, 23, 24 are eligible for this contest. And aspirants who are applying for TCS Code Vita can apply from any institutes across India. Any institute is allowed. Graduate, postgraduates from engineering and science background in any field are eligible for TCS Code Vita. So you can be a graduate, that is BTech, BE, or ME, MTech, MCA, MSc. So you can be from science background also. So all these people are eligible for TCS Code Vita. Next is, what is the registration process? So understand that for the registration process, I will be leaving this link in the description of this video, campuscommune.tcs.com, and you have to go to this site, register yourself. If you have not registered previously, you can register for TCS Next Step on this website. And after registering for TCS Next Step, you can register for TCS Code Vita. I will leave this link in the description of this video. So students can visit this link and register themselves for the Code Vita. Now, rounds of TCS Code Vita. What are the 3 rounds? So there are 3 rounds. They are pre-qualifier, which is zonal round, qualifier round, and grand finale. Now, TCS Code Vita exam dates are, the registration will start from 17th March 2020 and the registration will end on 5th July 2020. So examinations will be after 5th July. So maybe the examination will commence from 10th of July and so on. So the first round will begin from 10th of July 2020. So what is a pre-qualifier round? In this round, there will be 24 hours contest. Each participant is provided with 6 hours of time to solve the question. Now, pre-qualifier round is conducted in India as well as rest of the world separately. In this season, there will be 2 zonal rounds in India for pre-qualifier. A participant will be tagged to one of the 2 zonal rounds and you can choose any of the 6 hours to start your challenge. Now, these questions are mainly from C, C++, Java, PHP, C hash, Python, Perl, Ruby. You can choose any of these languages and start coding. The qualifier round, round 2, would happen after the completion of all the pre-qualifier rounds across the world. Top performance from the zonal rounds will move into this round. Each participant will be provided with 6 hours of time to solve and complete this round. Now both these rounds will be online, and the third round, that is grand finale, this final round of TCS will be held in one of the TCS office in India, and the tentative date is the last week of February 2021, and top 3 contestants will be declared as winners of the contest. So this is all about TCS Code Vista. I suggest the students to register for TCS Code Vista. The link for registration is given. What you have to do is simply you need to go to the website, that is campuscommune.tcs, or you can say TCS Campus Commune in Google. So once you say this, Google will come up with the website TCS Campus Commune. You can click on the link and it will take you to the TCS Campus Commune website. Now, once it goes to this website, you can change the country. Your country is India. So it's already India here. And if you are a new user, you click here to register. So new user can click here. After clicking, you will get a screen where you need to fill some details. So the screen is IT and BPS. So click on IT. For engineers, it's IT. So click on IT and then you can fill these details like name, date of birth, gender, email ID. You can fill your mobile number, your institute name, your specialization. So specialization is like, what is your qualification, right? So whether it is Bachelor of Engineering or what, Bachelor of Medicine, whatever it is. And then year of passing, nearest test location. You can give the nearest location for the test. Then you can enter the password, which is as per the TCS password policy, which will contain alphanumeric characters, number, and all those things like Google. Re-enter the password, select a security question, answer the security question, and then fill up this, type the CAPTCHA characters in the image and submit it. Once you submit this, you will be registered for TCS next step, not Code Vita. Understand this. You will be only registered for TCS next step. Okay. For Code Vita, you have to do some extra things. So to register for Code Vita, you have to go to something called as placement season. So here it is. See here. So this will show you the steps to register for Code Beta. So here I will magnify the screen and I will show you what is the process. So see here, registration process for Code Beta. The first screen that will get displayed is this login. And then once you log in, for logging in, you have to register for TCS Code Beta contest. We have to go to campuscommune.tcs.com to this link actually. I will be sharing this link in the description of this video. Then you can see this screen will be displayed and you need to click on Campus Commune here. On the left hand side, you will see Campus Commune. Launch it. So you can launch Campus Commune. And once you launch Campus Commune, you will get this option, Campus Commune, launch it. Now click on TCS Code Beta Season 9 in the contest tab. So here you will see on the right hand side, you will see Code Beta Season 9. And you have to click on this. And then you will see a box which says register. So accept the terms and register. And once you register for this, the TCS Code Beta portal can directly register for the TCS Code Beta by entering the reference ID and password. So students who have already registered for Campus Commune can enter their reference ID and password and directly register for Code Beta. But students who are new, so for new users, we have to sign up in Campus Commune and then proceed to register for TCS Code Beta. Remember this. So those who are new for the process, they have to sign up in Campus Commune first. The procedure that I have explained right now to you people, like how to register. So this is registration for Campus Commune actually, not for Code Beta. So once you submit, you will be registering for the Code Beta. Right. After registration process of TCS Code Beta, every participant will receive a unique secret code or link at later stage. This link is very important to participate in the contest. You don't have to share it with anyone. So do not share the secret code with anyone. Step 3. After the process of TCS Code Beta, it would ask for confirm registration. Click on that and it shows a pop-up box as successfully registered. So any student who is not a bona fide student from institution or university in India will be disqualified and would not be permitted to participate in TCS Code Beta. You have to be a bona fide student of a university or a college in India. Right. Rest of the things are explained to you. So this is all about TCS Code Beta and the future skills that you require. Thank you very much for patiently listening to this future skills, that is the skills of the future, 10 skills that you will need in 2020. So the presentation was prepared especially for the students of engineering and any other branch as such. And this gave you a brief insight into what you need to prepare, what skills you need to prepare for, and from where to prepare for the forthcoming campus drives. So basically, our objective was to prepare for campus placements and drives, which are forthcoming, and we have to prepare it during the lockdown itself, so that after the lockdown, we are prepared for various companies, not limited to this. I have cited some examples here: Accenture, Cognizant, Infosys, TCS, and Wipro, but many more companies which will come up with their NQT, it is National Qualifier Tests, as well as on-campus and off-campus drives. What technical skills we need and what certifications we need to do. This presentation was dedicated and focused on that. The outcome of this presentation for the students will be to get equipped with the skills, any of these skills, any one of these skills, and mention these skills in the resume, so that the HR person or the technical person who is taking your interview will be very much comfortable to interview you. Also, the agenda of this seminar or the presentation was also to introduce students to TCS Code Vita contest, which will be held by TCS for the students who will be completing their degrees in 2021, 22, 23 and 24. And the starting date of registration was 17th March. The registration will end on 5th of July. And all the information is given on this link. I will share the link in the description of the video. Thank you very much. Thank you. I will come up with more such videos. Thank you, students. Thank you all.